What's up everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, we will be making Gâteau fruits rouges. So Gâteau fruits rouges is a red fruits cake, direct translation from it. And it's the most easiest recipe in my cookbook by Julia, the winner of the Meilleur Pâtissier 2023. And just to show you everyone how it's supposed to look like. So there is a biscuit cuillère. So biscuit cuillère is like a lady finger biscuit that we put in the tiramisu. But this one we are making it by ourselves. So we will be doing the assembly together. I'm gonna talk through how we are gonna assemble this cake so that it will be more fun and interactive. As you all know, I'm doing this as my 2024 baking challenge. So I challenge myself to cook every single recipe inside this cookbook. Hopefully I reach until the end. So I have already prepared some of the ingredients. The biscuit cuillère right over here. I'm just gonna show you how I did it yesterday. So the biscuit cuillère, you need these ingredients. So the first thing you need to do is to beat the white egg until it has a stiff peak. After you achieve this stiff peak, you need to add little by little with the fine sugar. And once you achieve the appearance of the egg white into like shiny and glossy, you need to beat the yellow eggs first before adding into the white egg. So after you beat the egg yolk and put inside the white eggs, mix it using the folding method so we do not lose the air that we have incorporated in the egg whites. So this is to make sure that we have a height of the biscuit cuillère and it's not too flat. So mix the white egg and the egg yolk using the folding method until it's mixed thoroughly, and then sift the flour into the egg mixture into 2 batches and mix again using the folding method until you finish all of the flour. At this point of time, you should already preheated your oven at 180 degree and already prepared the mold. So I'm using here a 20 centimeter in diameter mold and also a baking cake tray. For the 20 centimeter in diameter mold, I will pour the biscuit cuillère batter into the circle mold for about 1 centimeter, and the rest of the batter will be for the rectangular. Because we are going to make it into a cake like how I show in the cookbook just now. So the round will be the bottom and then the rectangular will be around the cake itself. And then after that, we are going to put this in the oven to bake for 15 minutes. I did this in 2 batches because I can't fit both of my cakes in the oven. But for my case, because my oven is quite hot, so I keep an eye on the top of my biscuit cuillère to make sure that it's not overbaked. Mine around 10 to 12 minutes, it's already baked. For your case, just keep an eye between 10 to 15 minutes just to make sure that it's not overbaked for the cake. After that, take out from the oven and leave it to cool down until you're gonna need it. This one I made yesterday so that I can assemble everything together without waiting anymore. So after that, we are going to prepare the mousse fruits rouges. So what do we need are these ingredients. According to the ingredients, we are going to need red fruit puree. So any red fruits that you like. I have in hand strawberries and raspberries, but I use the strawberries because I have a lot of strawberries in our fridge. So I made my own strawberry purees. It's very easy. I just weigh according to the weight that we required, around 250 grams of strawberries, and then I use my hand blender to smash it. Add a little bit of lemon juice and a teaspoon of fine sugar, and you got your puree. So what we're gonna do for our fruit mousse, we're going to rehydrate the gelatin first. Add a little bit of cold water, leave it to rest for around 10 minutes. In the meantime, we are going to heat our strawberry puree. In my case, for your case, any of your red fruit puree, heat it in a saucepan together with the fine sugar. Let it to heat for a moment. moment, once all of it well incorporated and the sugar have dissolved, add the gelatin into the hot puree and continue mixing. After that, very easy, just transfer back into the bowl, let it to cool down in a room temperature. So right now, we are going to do together the chantilly. So we are going to beat the whipping cream until it achieves a stiff beat. So here is our whipping cream. I'm just going to transfer it into a bigger bowl. I do have my bigger mixer, but since we are going to do it face to face and my mixer is behind there, so I'm going to use my hand mixer instead. Also, just another advice, be careful not to over beat it because it will turn into like a butter. So when you're about to achieve at the chantilly texture, the soft cream texture, then lower down the speed of the mixer and eye on the texture. Stop when you achieve the right texture already. I said texture a lot now. Okay, let's just continue this. So now that we are finished with the chantilly, we are going to put it aside first. So usually I will tap the whisk like this to get the chantilly down into the bowl again without needing to scrape it away. Okay, done. Cleaner than before. So now that the chantilly is ready, we are going to incorporate the strawberry puree. So now here is my fruit puree that has been cooled down already. We are going to add the puree in 3 times using again the folding method, just so that we do not lose the air that we already beat inside the chantilly. Make sure that your fruit puree is not too hot. It should be in a room temperature because it's gonna melt away the coldness of the chantilly and it will become very runny, and we do not want that in our cake, right? We are about to pour the second time of our puree. Let's pour it one more time right there. Maybe we can start talking about how I started to bake. So I grew up in a household where my mom is making cake, baking kueh. Because we are from Malaysia, so we call it kueh, like a dessert. And she is baking this to sell in Sunday market or sometimes on the Thursday, because we have a Thursday and Sunday market in Keningau, where I came from. And I think that's where my passion came to do baking. I never really ventured it until recently. I really love baking. I watch baking show a lot and cooking show a lot. It's really interesting when I watch all of the art of foods, and then when you get to enjoy your effort. I met my husband, my boyfriend, my then boyfriend, now my husband. I bake a lot for him, and he's been very supportive with the things that I love to do, especially with this baking, because we get to enjoy it together during our dessert time, in dinner time, for dinner, and for our tea break. Since we get our baby and I'm a stay-at-home mom now, I finally find a time to really get into my baking hobbies, and here we are. Okay, so our mousse is finally well incorporated together. So now is the fun part, the assembly. So to assemble this mousse, okay, so any mousse cake that you're about to do, you need this. In French, we call it rodois. I think so. It's rodois, and it's like hard plastic that we put around the mousse itself, so that it doesn't seep out of the mold, and it will help to make sure that it stay in the shape itself. And I also have already prepared my mold right over here. According to the cookbook, we need a 20 centimeter diameter of the mold, and then I put it already on the cake board itself to make it more prettier. I add a doily underneath, but this is just an option. You can just put it in any plate you have at home. I already also put the rodois around the mold right over here. So what we need to do is just to trim our biscuit cuillère that has already been cooled and put it around the cake first before we pour in the mousse. So we got our biscuit cuillère here. This one I bake in 18 centimeter actually, so that I don't have to cut it again, because it needs to be 2 centimeter lesser than the mold to pour in the mousse together. So this one is just perfect. This one we need to trim because we need to have a 32 centimeter lengthwise and then 5 centimeter of height. So this is already 32 centimeter. I'm just going to measure the 5 centimeter. I don't have a ruler, so I'm gonna use my measuring tape instead. Actually, I'm going to trim away the top just so I can get a straight cut. And now we measure the 5 centimeter. We are going to make 2 belts to cover the whole mold on the outside. Fret nut, the balance of the biscuit cuillère, I am going to repurpose it for some other recipe. Maybe I will put it in my short video so you can have some tips on how to repurpose the leftover of our biscuit cuillère. And so now we are back with our mold right over here. We're going to put the circle first, right here. So for this part, I'll put the flat side on the outside so that it's much more prettier to present to our friends and family. So this step is very easy. We're just gonna pour it inside the mold. And just flatten the mousse on top of it. So that is done. I have already prepared my fruits right over here. I'm using the raspberries as well as the strawberries as the decoration. For the raspberries, I'm just going to put the icing on the top first for the 8 to 9 pieces of it, just to make it more prettier. You can also use other red fruits, the red cherries, maybe grapes as well, and cherries, why not? But I can't find the cherries in our local store for this time because it's not the season, I guess. So that's why I'm just using the raspberries and the strawberries. Let's get to decorate! Here it is, the beautiful Gâteau fruits rouges. We need to put it in the fridge for at least 2 hours to let it set first, let the gelatin to set first, and then only we will be able to enjoy this cake. So let's just put this in the fridge now so we can have it as soon as possible. So now let's wait for 2 hours. And the 2 hours is up. Time to take out our cake. I'm so excited. And we've seen it, we love it, it's so beautiful, and now it's time to test this cake. Let's cut this. this is by far the least sweet cake I ever had in my life. But it also doesn't make it less flavorful because there are a lot of the fruits around, and the sweetness actually came from the biscuit cuillère, aka the lady fingers biscuit, so it contrasts together with the mousse because the mousse is very light and very creamy, and then with the light biscuit cuillère is also just complementing each other. So this recipe, this cake is definitely suitable for when you just want to quickly whip something from your kitchen. It's easy and then it's quick as well, and you can enjoy this without having too much guilt in it because it's not too sweet and it's a lot of fruits. For this, I definitely recommend, especially for anyone out there who doesn't have a lot of kitchen skills, baking skills, patisserie skills. This one will be a no-fail cake. And to that, we have reached to the end of my video. Thank you so much for joining into my episode 12. This time, Gâteau Fruits Rouges. I really enjoy baking this with everyone out there. I hope you enjoyed watching it as well. And the next time I will see you guys will be on my episode 13. It's Gaufre revisité. Gaufre revisité. Okay, I'm just gonna show you guys how it looks. So this is what we'll be doing on the next episode. It looks beautiful, it looks elegant, and also the difficulty level is medium, but I doubt it will be that difficult. And of course, don't forget to click the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video with maybe your grandma who bakes a lot, and you can get some treats from here, or maybe also your friends and family who just love watching baking show. And let's just close this video. I'm going to continue eating my cake as usual, as it is in the afternoon, and I can enjoy this with my afternoon coffee break. Okay guys, bye bye. And also, it's the easiest recipe in my cookbook.